right, so today I'm just finishing off this little pillow that I just did. So this is a newer design. It's called Quack Quack Honk instead of Duck Duck Goose. It turned out absolutely adorable. I love those little ducks in their gum boots and then the little goose that follows. So cute. Some little florals in there, perfect for spring. I could not be happier with how this turned out. It kind of came right from full vision to the end product is absolutely exactly where I wanted it to be. So I just finished it with some Lady Dot Creates chenille around the edge here, and I found this perfect spring fabric for the back. That's the yellow, just, you know, with the gum boots and the little florals here. Absolutely perfect, and that green in it matched here as well, this chenille, which I forget the color of it. I'll put it on the screen here for you guys. But it just all matched so perfectly. So I've talked about it in my videos before that I do a slit in the back for easy fill. I did do this all with the poly fiber fill. I'm gonna pull some of that out. I did find some poly pellets, so I'm gonna go ahead and use some of those today too, to just kind of give it a little bit different, that heavier weighted feel. I wanna try those out. It'll be the first time I've tried them, and just see how that turns out. But today I wanted to go over fixing the back when I do it like this. For me, I find this way to be the easiest way, because when you're sewing your two pieces of fabric together, you just go around and do all your 4 seams and everything's perfectly sewn. You've got your slit in the back, you turn it inside out, you get beautiful corners, beautiful crisp edges. I personally love doing it this way. I also think that the little decorative patches that we add on the back to cover that hole, they just add an extra little decorative element to the back. So if this is an adobe bowl where you're going to see, you know, sometimes if it's in the center of a table or something, you'll still see the back. If you put it on a tier tray, you're still going to see that back, maybe from depending what side you're standing on. So I'm going to go ahead and do something a little different for this back cover today. I usually will do felt cutouts, do them in different shapes, add some buttons, some little decorative pins, whatever. But today I thought it might be fun to kind of do a fabric sort of floral for the back. So I'm going to go ahead and take a couple scraps here. This is just a very neutral, but I wanted it to be something that plays off of like a daisy, so white petals. And then I'm going to find a button for in the center. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to take this and fold it into this piece in particular. I'm going to fold it twice. It's just a little scrap, but I'm essentially going to make petal shapes. I'm not going to worry about them coming into the center too much. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to stuff these, but I might put a little bit of polyfill in there depending how it looks when I sew them and turn it inside out. I've never done anything like this before, but I'm going to see how it comes out today. And I just thought I would film it and share it with you guys in case it turns out how I'm envisioning it. So I just kind of have 2 petal shapes there. I'm thinking I'm going to need about 4, probably 5 petals. So I already have one that I cut out over here. So I'm going to do 2 more out of this one. Get some different sizes and shapes. So I'm just freehanding it. If you wanted to make them all the same and do a little template, absolutely go ahead and do that. But just a general kind of petal shape there. So, okay, so there's the other 2. So what I'm thinking now is like, I'm going to take these over to my sewing machine. I'm going to do about 1/4 of an inch seam there, just around this side, and leave this part open. Then I'm going to come back and turn them inside out, and then I'm thinking that we'll see if we want to stuff them with a little bit of fill, and then we'll just take our needle and thread, gather through here, put them into a floral like this, and then center with the button, and then we're going to use that on our back. I'm going to see how that all comes together, if it comes together how I'm envisioning it. So I'll be back after I sew these together. All right, so I went and sewed these up, And we're gonna see if this is gonna turn out, like I say, how I'm envisioning it. So I'm just gonna cut the tip off of that a little bit just to kind of take out some of that bulk in the point. And then we're going to turn these inside out and see what we get. You get a point turner, a little stick of sorts. I have a point turner somewhere. I always find I push too hard with it, so. Okay. I didn't want these to be, they don't have to be particularly perfect because I'm just trying to, see, I don't even think we're gonna need to put any stuffing in there because I think by the time you gather it, you could do a seam down here, some sort of detailing to kind of like add that extra leaf detail, just even a stitch if you wanted it to sit down. But I think I'm just gonna pull it together and yeah, put a button, and I think that'll look really cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do all of these, turning them in. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Maybe could have done it a little bit more rounded off of a tip instead of so pointy. I think that would be my only thing I would change next time. So, but pretty easy to do. There we go. So now I've got a needle and thread here, just a knot on one end, and I'm just going to go in and out. Just grab those edges. And then go to the next one. All right, so that was pretty quick and simple and easy. And then see, just gonna cinch it together here, and I'm gonna put the thread right into the very first petal. Doesn't have to be pretty in the center because I plan on adding a button, but you guys, that turned out so cute and it was so easy. I think, is it too big and bulky for this? I don't know. Do I do a second little one? Or do I think I can push it and hide it enough. Maybe I'll do a leaf for underneath. Is it too big? I'm gonna see what I have for green fabric to do a leaf, I think. But I also have some buttons here to see. It's a cute one. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is super cute for like a daisy look. We've got this one, which I thought was fun too because it kind of picks up that blue on the other side. Could do a white on white. That's really cute. Other thing is if I do something like this, do I go and put a few extra little buttons around? So many possibilities, but any of these would look That's really cute. Okay, so lots of possibilities for buttons. I don't know, like this will cover this for sure. Kind of feeling like it might be just a little too big though. So I think I'm gonna go take this apart and cut these down a bit so it shrinks it in a little smaller. Let's try that. Okay. And we've got our thread with a knot, and we're just gonna go put those, sew them back on. All right, and then we're gonna scoop through there, pull that in, it's our little tail. Okay. Okay, that's better. Better size there. All right, I think I'm gonna go with this blue-gray. So I'm just gonna put the button in there. This one's got just the back, doesn't go through the front. So I am just gonna grab some of the petal fabric and then through the center of the button and come out the other side here and stitch that button on. I am going to be hot gluing this on today myself, the full flower once it's done, but you could do like a whip stitch that close and then stitch this on. Just catch a bit of this and through here, stitch it around wherever you feel like it needs a little tack down. So whatever you're more comfortable with, but I just prefer the quickness of hot glue, the ease for myself. So, as you can tell, I'm not the fanciest hand sewer. Just want to get the job done. All right. So there's our little rustic floral. Now this petal's a little skinnier, so I think when it comes to placement, I'm probably gonna go something like this. See those two there? Kind of cover that perfectly. And then we'll just tack it down. I think that's gonna look really cute. Okay, so we're gonna try some poly pellets today. I got these ones from Michael's, and we're going to see how this goes for us. I have seen people use them before. A little scoop, a little funnel, some sort of dumping device to get them in here. And also if you work in a bowl or a tray, it's better because it'll pick up it'll catch all of the little pellets that fall out for easier cleanup. So you can see what I have around here. This is kind of a nice size. Gives me room to move in here. It's shallow. So this is a perfect container for this. In the process of getting it, I knocked over my bag of pellets already. So there's a nice array of them on my desk. So I think that I might actually just store them in this bucket, and then I can just scoop right into my pillows, put the lid on this, and store it away, just like that. And when I need to fill, then there you go. Got a nice filling station always, and I don't have to be searching for another bucket. So I did fill this pretty full with the fiber fill. I have only ever used fiber fill, and I know you're supposed to like pull it apart and really separate those fibers to kind of help fluff it up and prevent the clumps. This stuff that I got though, this bag, is different than I've had before, and I feel like every time I'm like pulling it, it's getting almost more matted and matted into like these clumps. And no matter how many times I pull it apart and shred it and then fill it, I'm feeling like it's very lumpy and bumpy. So I don't know if it's just like not the best bag of, I mean, in compared to the stuff I've used before, I would say it's not the best bag of polyfiber fill. But I like the idea of that beanbag feel and having that weight to the pillows. So I wanted to try pellets, and I didn't think Michael's carried them, but then I found them there. And they were a good price, $19.99 Canadian for this bag. I mean, part of it's on my desk here. But you'll get quite a few pillows out of that. And I used a 40% off coupon on it. So I think it was like $11.99. So even better. I feel like a bag of polyfill is like $15 or $16 at Michael's. Okay, so I'm going to do a mixture of this, I think. I'm going to leave, from what I've seen other people do, okay, I would say Nicole Spore, I saw her do her pillows with like the pellets and stuff before, and she likes to do she's got amazing tutorials. You guys should check her out if you aren't already. I always just assume everybody knows who she is because she is wonderful and has a really large following. So I just think that everybody already knows her floss tube. But if you don't, check her out because she does amazing stitching. She's got wonderful stitch alongs that you guys can join, and like very organized, and she's got really great tutorials. She'll do lots of different finishing techniques and stuff. So anyways, I am just gonna continue to put that polyfill in the corners, because I felt like when I was stitching on my trim here, this is the chenille, my corners kind of got a little loosey-goosey just from the moving of it and stitching around. I found that pretty difficult to stitch that around the corners. It's the first time I've stitched it on, and it was just to try and keep it placed like on the corner so you still have a nice corner and all that. It was a little tricky for me. So I am going to make sure I'm filling those corners nice and full with the polyfill here, the fiber polyfill, just to make sure that they have nice structural integrity still. And then these are going to kind of find their way in all that fiber fill. What else did I want to say? Oh, another thing with if you are using polyfiber fill, when I do it like this, I'll leave that open for a while. I usually do all my photos without finishing the backs. I'll, like look at it, do any trim, do any, playing and feeling around with it. Because I find the fiber fill, even when you think you have stuffed it as good as you can and as much as you can in there, if you leave it for a couple of days, even if it just sits there, I feel like when you go back to it, it's got movement to it again. So everything sort of settles. So, and if you're moving it around, putting it on display, just it's not going to fall out of there like these will. So I suggest leaving that back open for a bit just to kind of make sure you have your desired stuffedness. If you really like a nice tight pillow, if you just leave it open for a couple of days, pick it up every once in a while, move it around, then I think you will notice that that fiber starts to settle and you can squish some more in there. So that's one tip I would say I've noticed with doing. Sometimes I don't finish the backs off right away if I'm like in a rush to get the photos taken, or I just want to get it done and out there for you guys to see. Between posting a photo or the chart and then doing a floss tube where I show the full finish, sometimes I'll leave it, and I've noticed that I go back. Even my ones from last year, now I go to put them back out on display, and it's like I remember those pillows were so fluffy and full, and they have definitely had some settling. So with the if you're hot gluing or sewing a patch on the back like this too, it is really easy to just go in and take that back up, or rip those stitches out and just put some extra fill back in there. So that's one nice thing about doing it like this. You don't have to interrupt your trim or anything like that, and it's an easy take off and fix, fill it up. So I'm just going to not use my hands because that's going to take me all day. This little jar, I'm just going to see if this works for... I'm really excited to try this. So if you have a little tub like this, then you don't have to worry about being tidy. You can just get the job done. So I'm really gonna make sure those get in all those little fibery pockets of holes. This is interesting. Very interesting. I feel like if you had a bottom seam or a top seam, if you had a bottom seam for doing the pellets, it might be easier than, say, like the middle seam here. This feels a little awkward because you can't really, get your proper... Maybe I just did this slit on this back is a little bit big, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. So I think what we'll do is we'll get as much in there as we think we can get, and then I'm probably gonna go put some of that polyfiber fill back on the top so it makes closing it up easier. Shake it in there. I can already tell that I like the shaping of how this is filling out the pillow better. Okay, it's probably pretty good. See what I mean, you guys? This is just like matted together. The whole bag is like that. It does come back a bit better when you shred it and pull it apart, but my goodness. Oh, I like that it's got that weight to it. This is exciting. Oh, I like this so much better. I can tell already, you guys. This is just... the shape is so much better. And the feel. Okay. Poly pellets for the win. That's my opinion. Good, because I did end up buying 2 bags of it today because I was pretty sure I was gonna love it. All right. I think that that is pretty good. Keep losing. All right, guys, I'm super happy with that. So I find this fills it out nicer and doesn't like pull. When I do the fiber fill, I feel like it pulls this in and puffs out more, whereas this like has such a nicer, it's hard to show you the front, but it has such a nicer, flatter firmness to it. I am excited about this. This is awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the glue gun and we're gonna close this up. All right, so there's our flower. I don't know, maybe this is a little too big and obnoxious for the back, but it's too late now. We're gonna go with it. I'm gonna see what you guys think. Would be cute if you had a smaller hole and just did that and then it was raised around the edges. Because mine's a slit, I am gonna tack it down. I think it's still gonna be really cute though. All right. I'm not really gonna try and do that, seam it together or anything. Do not spill the pellets everywhere. I should have put the lid right on it right away. Okay, so I'm gonna start up here and I'm just gonna put some hot glue on the edges of the petal. And then I'm just gonna make sure that that covers that slit. And then I'm gonna go in here and I am gonna go like this, right along here and here, so that I know this is gonna get, whoops, sealed down. We don't want any of those little pellets finding their way out of there. Okay, so the seam of the pillow is officially closed down. And now I'm just gonna tack this all down. I'm really happy with that. I tried to kind of tack this down with a little bit of movement in it. This is nice and like puffy here, which I could go around and tack that down more, or if you're sewing it in, you could be catching that whole seam so that it lays a little bit flatter. But I really like the way that that looks. I actually think it turned out really cute. So you could do a couple others, add on extra little rosettes or another smaller kind of stitch there, but that pillow is just, I love that. It lays so nice. It's got a nice weight to it and fullness. I am so happy with those pellets. I think I probably could have pulled a little bit more of that polyfill out of like the front part of it there a bit more, but yeah. So happy with that. So that is Quack Quack Honk Duck Duck Goose. Isn't it so cute? I love it. Love how this came together. Perfect for spring, Easter decor. Love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that quick little finishing. Thanks for stopping by and trying out the poly pellets with me. That is a huge win for me. I love the feel of it. And like I say, it just kind of gives that, it gives a bit of weight to the pillow, but it also gives it kind of like that flat fullness as opposed to like pulling it out from how thick it is with stuffing. So I've got the poly fiber fill in there still for the corners, and those little pellets are just going to find their way in amongst everything. But I am happy with how that turned out. I think it's absolutely cute. Yeah. Perfect little spring pillow. So can't wait to get that on display. I hope you guys enjoy this pattern. If you stitch it up and finish it, show me how you decide to finish it. It would be really cute in so many different ways. This would be a fun one for a project bag. I cannot wait to see what you guys do with it. Yeah, so there we go. I hope you guys all love this design as much as I do. And until next time, happy stitching. I hope you guys find some encouragement or inspiration to get out there and get some finishing done too. So take care and we'll talk again soon. Bye for now. Okay guys, I decided to add the little pin with the buttons on it because I just felt like it needed a little something else. So I just picked a couple little greens and a white there and pinned that on. So, I don't know, I just love the little pin with the buttons. A little extra something. So there you go. Now it's finished. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Okay, talk to you soon. Thank you for spending time with me today. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Erin Elizabeth Designs. And if you enjoyed what I had to share, please consider subscribing and liking this video. You can also turn on the little bell to be notified for my next video.